Today we're going to learn about the Qualtech Cheese Vat and the support controls that go with it. We're going to ready this equipment for cheese making. This is one of two cheese vats that we have from Qualtech. It has a capacity of approximately 230 liters. It is jacketed, which allows you to control the temperature of the vat contents, which is typically milk. We're going to go through all the controls that are required to bring the milk up to the required temperature for culture. So let's get started. The first step in this is to plug everything in. So now you're ready to get started. Turn on the main control box. So you have to press the reset button. The actual control for the jacket pump is right here. Before you press that, you want to make sure you actually have water going to the pump. You never want to run a pump dry. This valve controls the release of domestic water to the system. You just crack it open a bit. This is a secondary valve. In fact, probably the best thing to do is to open that up the way you have and then do your control of water to the system with this valve. So if you have enough water in the jacket, you're either going to see a meniscus in the sight glass or you're going to see water flooding to the floor, in which case the meniscus is above the sight glass. So let's just open this up and see where this meniscus is. Well, obviously it's above the sight glass because we have water flooding to the floor. So we are now ready to turn on the jacket pump. So this is just moving water through the jacket. If I actually turn off the valve, the water valve, this will eventually come back down. You can see it bobbing down here a little bit. You never want this meniscus to go down below here. That indicates that you're about to run your pump dry. I'm just going to turn this water back on just a little bit. Next thing we're going to do, open the steam valve. This is the main steam valve. So we can open that up. The other valve that it can be used for fine control is here, but the main control of steam to the system is at this point. This is a solenoid valve, which if the temperature of the milk is below the temperature of the set point that you have set up in the controller, this valve will be open. So there will be steam getting into the system. We're about to set the temperature controller to the required temperature for heating the milk for cheese making. There are actually two temperatures that this system can control. The vat temperature, and then this temperature is for controlling the headspace temperature. This vat can be used to do vat pasteurization. Today we're only going to focus on controlling the temperature of the vat, but everything that you learn in this video will also apply to controlling the temperature of the headspace. So to begin, you want to establish the default mode that you are using. So there are basically three control buttons here. A scroll button, an up arrow for typically increasing the parameter, and a down button for decreasing the parameter. So to establish the default mode that you want to be in, you press the scroll button until you get to where it is you want it to be. So the system can either be off, it can be operating, or you can be in the middle of establishing a set point. Once the system has been set, we want it to default back to operation mode. So that's where we're at. Then you press the down button to set that, so to speak. This is actually the current temperature in the vat. We just filled it up with room temperature water so that the product level is above the temperature sensor. Actually, we'll show you really quickly the temperature sensor. This is the temperature sensor right here. So now the next step is to actually set the set point, the temperature set point. You're going to press the scroll button until you reach the desired mode, which in this case is A set, or establishing the set point temperature. And you're going to press the down arrow until you get the required setup. Either you're going to be setting the set point for the headspace, or if you press the down arrow again, for the vat. And this is the one we want. We're going to press the scroll button to see what the current set point is. It's 33 degrees. If you want to adjust this a little bit, you can either go up or down. So let's say we actually want to get to around 30, just arbitrarily 31. Just keep on pressing the down arrow until you get to where you want it to be. Then you press the scroll button again to return to this feature, PAL1, and you press the up arrow to return back to operation. And there you've set your set point. So now that you have set the set point, turn on the main steam valve. Turn on the steam control valve, and you'll see steam coming out, getting past the solenoid valve. The solenoid valve is now open because the temperature in the vat is below that of the set point. This valve is going to remain open until the set point temperature is reached, at which point it will close. I find that the jacket can heat up pretty quickly if you just rely on the set point and the solenoid valve to open and close. Control the temperature of the jacket, which you have a measure of here. You can add more or less steam or more or less water, or usually a combination of the two, until you get it fine-tuned so it's almost down. You can see that the jacket temperature is getting pretty high here. You don't want to burn the nut, so you probably should back off on how much steam you're adding. You can do that here, and we're continuing to add cold water. So this jacket temperature is going to come back down. It's going to come down closer to the set point temperature. You probably want to be around maybe 5 degrees above the set point. Eventually, you want them to be the same. You can see here that the temperature is slowly starting to come up. So now it's a little bit of a waiting game. You just wait until the contents get to the right temperature. To get an accurate temperature read, it's best to actually be mixing the milk. So you should, even before you start messing with the temperature controls, you should turn on the mixer. So the main power switch is here, and then you can use this dial to control the speed of mixing. You can see that the mixer is moving. Just be aware that it's moving. We have fitted the vat with the milk mixing arm just to move the milk around a little bit and get a more even temperature read. At this point, you just continue to monitor the meniscus. Ideally, you would have the meniscus half to 2/3 of the way up throughout the run. Once you get to the targeted temperature, these vats, if you have everything closed up, that's the other thing you could do is you could cap off these openings. It holds the temperature pretty well. This valve here can also be used to affect the mix of steam and water. Honestly, I don't use it very much. I usually just leave it wide open and rely on a blend of incoming cold water and incoming steam. Heat a little faster, you can, again, just open these valves. The solenoid valve is still wide open. The main valve is still wide open. So right now I'm kind of controlling the temperature, the amount of steam going in with this valve. See, the temperature is going up quite a bit faster now. So really that's about it. Just keep an eye on the amount of water that's going into the jacket. Keep an eye on your controller steam valve, and you will hear the solenoid valve click back off once the set point is attained.